Hello and welcome back, Spaceflight fans. Hello and welcome back. We're going to ignore every single thing that just happened here, and today we will be talking about, of course, Starship's ninth flight test, as well as Flight 8. Now, if you do not know about this already, SpaceX has recently released the mishap investigation over every single thing that went wrong and why it happened over Flight 8. If you recall, Flight 8 happened back in March, not March, February, March. One of the 2 months of the year. I cannot remember. But it launched, we were all hoping after the disappointment of Flight 7 that everything would go smoothly and it would be perfect. Everything was not perfect. So what happened, we ended up actually seeing something kind of similar, and we actually thought it was the exact same thing to what happened on Flight 7, something that we call POGO. I cannot currently tell you what it stands for, but it'll pop up on the screen right about somewhere over here. I'm not sure.
Little side note here, Pogo literally means the rocket is just bouncing
But
around on
what
its
happened
axis.
was we saw a little flash, like after hot staging. We saw a little flash near the it was the aft attic, so near the aft flaps. We saw like a little. It was almost like fire, and you could say it was fire. So what happened here was, and then the ship it started like going spinning and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. But that's besides the point because that's in the past. Now for Flight 9, we're hoping to have S-35, the Redeemer, but we'll get more onto that later. But let's talk about what actually happened with Flight 8. Now, for Flight 8, we saw many people saying, and we actually saw this. So we just saw B-15 get caught by Mechazilla, the tower. We just saw it get caught. We were all very excited. The third booster catch for SpaceX. It was a very exciting moment. And then you're like, okay, so exciting. Let's go see how the ship is doing. And you look in the lower right hand corner of the screen and you see S-34 has lost engine telemetry, meaning we do not have data on some of its engines. What did we later find out? Well, we believe that the engines sure, they might have blown up. It was an RVAC for sure, which we had seen similarly onto Flight 7. And with that, an engine just flew out of the vehicle. I don't even know what to say. It was just wild. We've never seen something like this. So, I don't know. But like I said before, SpaceX has released the mishap investigation to the public and to the FAA, which means that the FAA has now granted SpaceX its launch license for its ninth flight test. Now, what really happened on Flight 8, like I said, like I'm sure 100 times by now, it really took us by surprise. It really did. Um, so what ended up happening for the engines, and since it lost its engines, that's what caused it to start spinning. It was something to do with the propellant. So it was inadequate propellant mixing. This caused clogs and everything in the drainage of the engines and everything, and that caused it to, um, you know, blow up, fall out of the ship, and that led to the failure of Flight 8, as well as the safety to people in the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos area. Now, no one was injured, but it was a sight to see. Disappointing, but a sight to see all the same. And they also released what happened on with Booster 15 on its right after hot staging on its way back to the site. So if you saw, we had two engines out. We had an engine out. So on that outer ring, not the outer ring, but that middle ring during boost back, we saw that there was an engine out. What later ended up happening is during the landing burn, whenever it slowed down from those supersonic speeds, causing that sonic boom, during that landing burn, that engine that was out was relighted. Now, SpaceX has released what was the issue as to why this happened. And they said it was due to an igniter not having good insulation, meaning that igniter overheated and that engine was not usable. However, there was another engine that was relighted, and that worked just fine. So that's basically what happened on Flight 8. And you know how we were all thinking Flight 8, Flight 7, the first Block 2 ships in the fleet of Starship. We both thought that they had the exact same issue, really. I mean, they exploded around the same time ish. Like, they were very close. Sure, S-34 on Flight 8 did make it a little bit further than S-33 on Flight 7, but they were still around the same time and mileage and kilometers. It's kilometers because we don't use miles in space flight talk. Anyways, SpaceX has released, or they have said that they have fixed it, and they have said that Flight 7 and Flight 8 were very different. Very different. They were distinctly different issues. And they believe that going into Flight 8, they fixed the issues from Flight 7. Now, we couldn't really check that because, Flight 8 kind of blew up. But So, anyways, getting on into Flight 9. Flight 9 is coming up at the time of this recording on Saturday, May 24th of 2025 at 7:47 p.m. Starship Flight 9 will be launching on Tuesday, May 27th at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. That is Central Time, Central Time, CDT. So, for those of you who want that time in 24-hour time, that will be 1830 for y'all who want that in 24-hour time, because I do know that there's a few of y'all who like that in 24-hour time. So, Flight 9, we want to look forward to it. S-35, the third Block 2 ship in the Starship program. And as we say, third time's the charm, and hopefully that is true for S-35, the Redeemer. It's not been looking too good, though, because, well, for S-35 static fire campaign, that first static fire we saw, it was the first one. Well, they kind of aborted it, and it didn't static fire. And that was due to clogged drains, again. But then they attempted it for a second time, and we saw a bright flash. That bright flash was an engine blowing up. Yeah, you heard me right. They successfully recreated what happened with Flight 8 on the ground. But that's good. That is great news. The next day, they sent replacement engines down to Star Factory, got it replaced, rolled it out for another static fire, did another static fire, had another problem. They rolled it back to the production site, put another engine in, and it is currently and it actually was just at Massey's for testing the other day. Where we saw it do a spin prime on the new engine rather than a static fire. Currently, it is awaiting its Starlink simulators inside of Mega Bay 2. Now, S-35 has had a rough time so far, but hopefully it can redeem itself as it is S-35 the Redeemer. So Flight 9, very exciting. Unfortunately, I will be gone. I will be out of town for Flight 9. I will be, out and about doing stuff, so I will not be providing a live stream. However, the second I am able to, I will be doing a reaction. So, assuming it launches on its net launch date of May 27th, I get back the 30th, I believe. 30th, 31st, 31st, 30th. One of those 2 days. I will do a reaction video where I react to whatever happens on Flight 9. So I'm looking forward to Flight 9, and I hope you all are too. So anyways, that little mistake at the beginning of this video, I kind of died, but I was not injured in this making of the video. I don't think I was. But anyways, I hope I'll see you guys later. Make sure to like and subscribe, and check out the reaction video I will be posting for Flight 9, and I'll see you guys later. Did you like this video and you would like to support more? Well, then you're just in luck, because here we have a t-shirt. Check on my watch here to see if you can see it. This I designed all by myself. You can see we won't have the SpaceX part, but it will say Making Life Multiplanetary, and it'll have the Starship. This is a V1 rocket, and the booster with Mars in the background. So this other shirt costs 20 bucks currently right now. I'll have the link to the shop down in the description. In addition to that, we have some amazing stickers, I would say. So let me show you this one first. Here we got a beautiful Starship IFT7 sticker. I designed this myself. Here we also have, in celebration of the, it's all folded up, sorry. They won't be folded up when they get to you. But here we have the New Glenn sticker that I made. This is the New Glenn vehicle. It's got where it launched from. It's got everything. It's got where it launched from, the company, the rocket. It's got a picture of the rocket. It's got company colors. So really, if you want these things plus more, you can check them out for really cheap prices over in the link in the description. Thank you.